I'm sorry, Matt. What happened last night?
We took a good old-fashioned butt whooping.
You know, the real traumatic thing for me yesterday, though, was the who knew that donkeys will kill baby goats? That was much more traumatic to me yesterday. So we now know. Y'all remember when I had Suki, my little baby pig that I bought, and it died like a couple of days after I had it, and I was like, she was in the pasture. I was like, what happened to her? She must have been sick or something. I now know what happened. It was that my donkeys killed her, kicked her in the head, and they killed all 3 of my baby goats. So that was much more traumatic to me yesterday. God, that was terrible. Now, I told y'all I was not going to watch the game yesterday. I watched the first half, and then we went to bed. And then Beth, I was trying to just like, I'll wake up and it'll be whatever it is. And then Beth goes, oh. And I'm like, what? She said, no, I'm not going to tell you. That's because I told her not to tell me. And then she goes, oh, Georgia scored. And then she goes, oh, Alabama's back up. And I was like, stop it. I didn't want to hear anything. So I'm good. I'm good.
Well, kudos to Georgia.
And I can't say that, man. I'm not going to say that.
I know.
I'm a sore
And
loser.
Stetson Bennett, he's got a really good story to go from a preferred walk-on to a national championship. So you got to like him.
No, I don't.
You don't have to like Georgia.
No, I don't like Georgia. You don't live among them. I do. I mean, you know, it's just, you know, and then people's tagging me last night. Am I okay? Am I doing okay? Am I doing okay? What in the world is that? Let me mute everybody.
Okay.
Muted everybody.
I'm sorry.
I thought I muted everybody. Hold on. Man, everything's going wrong today. I thought I hit the mute all button. Let me do that. Okay, so anyway, yeah, it was just a tough day all around. Tough day all around. Those things happen, right? But the cool thing was, you know, that I mean, even though I'm a sore loser, you know, Saban, he handles things really, really well. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, he's like, you know, congratulating Kirby and you know, I act like I don't like Kirby, but I love Kirby. I want Kirby back at Alabama, you know. So yeah, it was hard. And it's hard living around all those Green Bay Packer fans. Isn't that what their helmets are? The big G on the side. I mean, it's the same helmet as the Green Bay Packers, just a different color. So anyway, I'll probably quit church now and become a hermit, just living in my little house all the time. Anyway, yeah, it was a crazy day. All right, so welcome in everybody. Enough about that. But yeah, donkeys will kill baby goats and they'll kill pigs. And so now I got to get rid of my donkeys. So if anybody wants any 2 miniature donkeys, you know, make me an offer that I can't refuse. Otherwise, I'm just going to let them loose and let them roam the countryside here in Georgia somewhere. Maybe I'll sell them to, surely there's, you know, somebody's got to need them. All right, so anyway, let's see what's happening with their markets today. Look at this, y'all. Wow, the market is up 0.45%. And look at the NASDAQ, up 1.28%. What's up with that? Isn't that crazy? So let's see what's going on. Everybody sees okay? Everybody's doing good? Okay, so here we go. We are, look at but the AD is really kind of anemic. It's 42. So we're kind of chilled out right here. It has been trending upward. Now we're in lunchtime shop. We are at the overnight high. What the heck was that? Let me just hit my mute all again. All right, so we're at the overnight high, which is a little bit of resistance. We're above the hourly mid. We're above the cash open. We're above VWAP. We're above the overnight low. We're above the pivot point here. And we're above our opening 15-minute range. So really, we're just up. And our alligator is feeding. It's doing quite well. And NASDAQ's doing well. Going into lunch with the volume decreasing a bit. You can see there. So just a very bullish day. And which is really good because if you'll remember yesterday, you never know if the Lacello signal is going to be good or not, right? But yesterday we got signals to buy shares of both of these, right? We did. And so we did that. Now, you don't know if that's a good signal or not. You just don't. But we took it and bought 14 shares. Remember, we had 203 shares. Now we got 217. So now it looks like a genius move. But what if the NASDAQ had continued to fall? Well, we would be here probably buying additional shares today. So we kind of double down. That's what we do. What's the word that they call it? Average down. As I said, never do that. Never add to loosen trades. Well, this is what we do when we're long-term holders of these two little instruments here. So no signals today, but everything looks really, really good. So let's see if we could have predicted the price movement that we're seeing based on our volume profile and our market profile. So we are currently, where do we think we're going to go? We're going to go price here. Looks like we're going to fill those gaps like I talked about yesterday. And it looks like there's a good opportunity to probably go there, right? Which will all be fairly priced. So this is the fairly priced zone, FB. I used to draw the butt every day. Remember that? I don't draw the butt every day. So that's a fair price zone. So right now, price is oversold for this fair value zone. It was overbought for the area below it, for the fair value zone below it. But now, as you can see, we're oversold. So being oversold, we would expect movement back into this area to fill this void of volume to test those areas. And probably going back up to here. That's what we would expect. All right, so let's go and see what our little NQ looks like. Oh, shut up. Sorry. You know, some people after an Alabama loss, they'll kick their dogs. I don't do that. I just tell them shut up. All right, so here we are now in the fair value zone. We're already here. So I'm not as bullish here, even though, you know, you think, well, maybe these areas will fill in with the void right there. And you still got a chance of going up here. Right? It's always a chance. But we also know that we'd have to go through an overbought zone first. An oversold zone here. So I'm not as bullish on the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is fairly priced. It went from oversold, overbought. Now, again, I posted this yesterday. Remember, the human brain attempts to make sense out of otherwise chaotic events. So here we see what appears to be that these lines actually work. Now, is it that these lines actually work, or is it that we just want to see what we want to see? But you can clearly see this is a level of support on NASDAQ, which just was excellent. Look at that. And then it goes boop, 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 boop. And where does it have another little bit of resistance? Right here. So then it goes boop, 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 boop. And if it keeps on going, we would expect another layer of resistance right here. So we're fairly priced. We'll probably hover around this area for some point. But it's really, really cool how we use these lines. And why do we do this? For fun, really. Because it really doesn't help us with our strategy. But if you're, if you're a zero DTE trader or something like that, I guess it could help you. All right. So we know what our charts look like. All that. Let's go to our screwdriver. Screwdriver. No, listen, I'm gonna say congratulations to Georgia. Okay, I'm not gonna be a sore loser. Congratulations. I'm just not gonna post it on my Facebook page. I'm staying off Facebook today. I won't send me on Facebook. Except I need to get on there and tell my daughter happy 7th birthday. She's 7 today. All right, so we are at about 63, 64. So let's see what this looks like. 63, 64. We'll say 64 on the screwdriver. 11, 23. Yeah, Georgia. Oh, if I had to hear that, glory, hallelujah, one more time. Oh my gosh. Did they not get like a real fight song? Sorry, I'm a little sweet and sour today. All right, so let's see what our screwdriver looks like. So screwdriver's still up here. What do we expect? We expect a reversion to some sense of normalcy, which this is probably, I would say, neutralish to bullish on the market. For this to normalize, to go back down to this area, we would expect the market to go up and to say, well, the little sell-off we've had has probably been, a little overdone. So this kind of matches what we're saying with our volume profile, market profile of the big gray monster, right? It's kind of more neutralish to bullish on the market. So this is bullish. So for the skew to go down, that means the market would go up. All right, so now we've kind of got our little, bearings behind us. We know what we're doing. Beth just went by groceries. I'm so glad that help get them in. Oh, this class came up right in time. All right, so let's save that. All right, so we know what the market's doing. All right, so what do we need to do now? All right, old Bobby, old Bob. Let's go back here. And why don't we look at what our little account is doing today? So we're up $1,400, but let's look at the forest first. Let's look at the forest before we start looking at trees and claiming victory. So our deltas of TQQQ is 234. Okay, all of this is SPY beta weighted. You want to make sure it's beta weighted. If you don't, then things look really off on your deltas. You don't want that to happen. So you want to make sure that you're SPY beta weighted, so we can try to compare apples to apples. So we want our overall deltas to be similar to our TQQ, and it is, right? 234 overall, we're 210. Now, why is that reduced some? Because we've got some of these hedges in here. Okay, so this is all good. So then we'll look at our theta's positive. That's awesome. And our Vega is very manageable, negative 161. We're at 1458 on the day. Okay, so that looks good. Let's look at the other account. Other account. Now we've taken a beating this year. You got to keep in mind we've taken a beating. We're down year to date $3,500 in this account. Our deltas are 191, Vega manageable, negative 114, and we do have positive theta. And we've got $5,300 worth of buying power here. Now, do you remember yesterday? Holly, are you with us today? So, Holly was asking about the Black Swan hedge and putting one on. So today is a great day if you don't have tranches of the Black Swan hedge to put one on. So how would you do that? Well, why would you do it? Well, the market's up. So you can get these things at a better location, better price on up days. So let's just look at what one would look like if you needed one. I'm not putting one on today, but I did want to show y'all because some of y'all were saying I'm having trouble finding where these things would be. All right. Got a band booster meeting tonight. Oh, I'm the treasurer. Do you have the treasurer report? And I had not reconciled the accounts in September. So it took me a couple hours yesterday to get everything up in order, but we're good. We got $14,000 in the bank and life is good. It's like I tell them every day. I said, look, I've never bounced a check. I may be late reconciling the account, but we got plenty of money. All right. So where would we go? So we want to go past, 60 days. So we'll go past 60 days to see if we find our little strikes. And we look here and you go, what the crap? There's nothing here. Yeah, so you wouldn't do anything here, right? No $3, no 50 points wide. Did I call it a Black Swan hedge? My apologies. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's a Sweet Bobby hedge. What is wrong with me? So 79 days out, here you go. You could sell 3 of these and buy 5 of these. Sell 3, buy 5 at the 2,700. Sell 3 of these, buy 5 of these, and that is a Sweet Bobby hedge. Okay, nice. So we found one. So I start normally going 60 days and over. So then you could go look at the see if there's any at 93. Well, here you go. So you wouldn't do this one, right? Because they're 100 wide stripes. 2,500 to 2,400. No way. But you could do this one: sell the 2,550 and buy the 2,500. All right. Let's see if we got any more out there. So there's 79. Let's go to 93 days. Is that where I was just at? I think so. Yeah, 355, 93 days. Let's go to 108 days. Just show you what I'm looking for. So you go down to about $3 and they're 100 wide. So there's nothing you could do here. I mean, you could do this, but you'd be paying a lot more. So let's see what else we got. 108 days. Let's go to 129 days. Nothing to do here. All right. Because they're 50 wide here where you'd be selling for 650 and buying for 650. We don't want to do that. So let's go to 140 days just to show you where the strikes are. Nothing to do there. See, they're too highly priced. Nothing to do. 140, and we probably go 157. 157. Let's see. Nothing to do here. Nope. See, that's 500 points wide there. Nothing to do. All right, I probably wouldn't go out farther than that. 157, I might go 170. Let's see what that's got. Nope. Strikes are too high. Nothing for us to see there. So we found out where you could buy those. So you could buy a tranche. So what I do is I buy 4 tranches to start the campaign. You know, I would say go to your Analyze tab, check out what your little thing says it could do, and before you do that. All right. So my portfolio is not looking too good on the downside, down $18,000. But again, I have market awareness and I think we're fine. I don't think there's a need for me to tell you. Plus, on good days, up days like this, I have some working orders that hopefully are going to fill pretty soon. Right? We're about to harvest 3. They're currently at 45 cents. You know, when they get down to 20 cents, I've got a GTC order. Now, see, there's a part of me that goes, oh man, I want to go ahead and fix my hedge up today. But then I go, you know, I don't want to have all those losses in the ES position. See this? Look, it says right here, I've got a loss of $3,775. Now, that's not entirely correct because that doesn't show you the money that I made on some of the shorts that I harvested. So that's not technically correct. The overall position didn't lose that much, but it's the same point. I just don't want this year-to-date P&L being excessive on my ES. So that's why I want to do a better job this year of waiting for these GTC orders. It takes a little patience. So this might get filled by this Friday if the market kind of keeps on going and those options decay a little bit, but I don't really want to force it. Now, if the big green monster and the screwdriver indicated that, you know, a fall was imminent, I'd probably go ahead and do this, but there's no reason for me to do that today. So I'm going to try to be a little more patient. And again, I've got a naked 3 that I've sold and I've got to buy the 5, right? So here you see that, and I really can put this on for credit. So the overall hedge is kind of like you saying, hey, State Farm, I want insurance. And they say, okay, we're going to give you insurance. And then they say, hey, by the way, we're going to pay you $30 for this insurance. And you go, wow. And that's what we're doing here. We're getting a credit for the Sweet Bobby hedge. All right. So everybody knows what the game is. We play a game every day. And it's kind of a fun game. It's a strategy game. We sell low. And no, that's not what we do. We sell high and we buy low. That's what we do, right? So we're just waiting for some of these GTC orders to go. Now, keep in mind, these GTC orders take up buying power. So remember yesterday we run out of buying power and we had to close some options. You know, I probably could have canceled these and not worried about it. So that takes up a little buying power. All right, so let's look at our groups just for a second. What our groups are. So we looked at the overall forest. So sometimes you got to look at the trees, and y'all, I'm telling you, the biggest trades that we've got going on are these 111 trades. Look at this. We've not lost on a single one. That was up $62. VSH 15. Oh no, we're down $350. I bet we've already harvested one of those. Yep. See, so we're not really down 350 because we've already harvested the 3. Let's close that up. We're really going to look at the 111. This one's up 20 or $13. This one's at $27. Micro BSH 111 up $62. I mean, that's why I put these things on every day. Is these little deals are the 111 trade is the greatest thing we got going. Look at that, $74. Now, Bobby, that's up $124. Why aren't you closing that, you moron? Take the risk off. Well, keep in mind, I don't look at individual trades. I look at the forest first before I look at the individual trades. So you're right, I've got a lot of options here, so to speak. I could close the naked component because it's at 82, but I don't want to. Why? Because it's giving me $2.59 of theta per day. So you got to kind of look at things. You know, I've got a little bit of positive theta, which is good, but we're no longer driven by theta. We just don't want our theta to be negative. So you're exactly right. I could reduce some of my positive deltas, reduce some of my theta since my overall theta is positive, and take some of that risk off the table. But as I'm looking at the account, I just don't see a reason to. So hopefully that's one thing that you guys are learning is to be a little more patient with your trades. Why not use Aflac? It's a good question, Ken, because they have Deion Sanders and Nick Saban. You're exactly right. And I love the Nick Saban commercials. Yeah, he's great. All right. So I wonder if he goes home and cries to Miss Terry and says, "Oh, I can't believe we lost," you know, because I'm sitting there in a fetal position last night thinking that my life is over. But it's not that bad. So see why I'm not closing these? I've got nice positive theta. And if I close that, that theta 156 now goes negative. Everybody sees that if I close these individual positions, even though it's up 83%. So I don't know. I just kind of like, I love that 111 trade. Look at them. They're consistent. Oh, they're consistent. And it's so much better than just selling a put every day. Just do the 111. If you can't do it every day, do it every, oh no, one's losing. Why? I bet we've harvested that, haven't we? Yep, see? That's why it says it's down, because we've already harvested that. So the trade's not really down. We harvested in a way that the overall trade was profitable regardless of what happens with the put debit spread. So anytime I see one that's losing, I go, oh, I probably already harvested that one. That one's up $63. That one's up $60. That one's up $53. I mean, I just love looking at it. There's a BSH, it's down $292. Oh, hey. That's it. What is that? Signal there. Excuse me. All right, so those are really kind of cool just to look at the 111 trades. They're all up. And we've done what, 60 of these? It'll be 60 today, and we haven't had a losing trade yet. That is so good. That is really, really good. All right, so let's go do a little trade here. Just to go eat me some of Miss Beth's key lime pie. Oh, y'all, we've got a friend that brings these pies around every Christmas with lemon pie, and they're so delicious. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, and everybody just loves this woman's pies. And so every time Beth asks her for the recipe, she'll say, "Oh, I give the recipe out so many times." She said, and everybody tries to do it and they just can't replicate it. She says, so I just quit giving it out. So Beth actually found the recipe for her pie online. And now Beth makes these wonderful lemon pies. Now they're lemon like, how to explain it? It's not like a deep, it's a real fluffy type pie. And they are just out of this world. And so she made a key lime one yesterday. Oh, and it's so good. And so now Beth's like, I told Beth, I said, now you can't give the recipe out. I said, because you got the best pie recipe on the planet. I don't know where she found it, but those things are so good. All right, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah, let's do our 111. Now, someone posted that, hey, there's an easier way for me to do this because I got to look at the deltas. So let's see. I think they said, now, how are we going to do one? First of all, I like going closest to 60 days without going over. So let's go to 49 days. We're going to do a long put vertical. Now, I think what they told me was that it's near the 30 delta. Let's see if that's right. 30 to 50 points wide. That's 50 points wide, near the 30 delta. Let's see what 30 delta is. Delta down there. So let's move these down. And we want to do it where we're only paying $10. Shut up, Roxy. It's not only I'm mad at the bulldogs, I'm mad at my dogs. Any dog, any of the canine species. I'm not too particular. Roxy, come here. All right, so this is 50 points wide. That's 1175. So we move it down to where it's about $10. That ain't right. Something's wrong. Oh, I know. That got hung in. All right. This looks weird. It's like where my positions are different. I thought they were normally over here. It's crazy. All right, so that's 50 points wide. Let's move it on down. Move it on down. One more. Hey, it didn't get stuck there. So it's $10 there. So $9.75. $9.75, 10. It might get filled there. Let's see what it is if we go down one more. So we're buying one where we've already got a long, and we're selling one where we've already got a short. So that's fine. So let's do that one for $9.75. See if we can fill. And then the second component of that is just sewing and selling one for about $20. Isn't that cool? Just an easy little trade. So why don't we do this one where it's $20.75? We've already got a short there. Let's put another one. Roxy, come here. Quit showing out. Just because your team won, it's bad when your own dogs pulling for the other team. Just because they like Ugga. Yeah, you see Ugga in there, poor bloodshot eyed dog sitting in there with a fan and ice all over it. Poor thing. Y'all don't see us dragging an elephant out on the field, do you? No. All right, so then we got that trading. So we not to put that into our other account. So I'll go to activity and pull up the same stripes in the other accounts. Let's move this over to the side. Roxy, shut up. She's showing out for you. Roxy, come here. Come here, Roxy. Come here, baby. Y'all remember this dog? Come here, Rock. Come here, Rock, baby. Come here, darling. Come here, come here. Well, I'm not gonna hurt you. Come here. I know your team won. Come here. Come here. Come here. And she's like now scared of me. Come here. I'm not mean. Come here. She's got attitude. Normally she just jumps up on me. She knows I'm upset. All right. So what are we doing? We go to micros. About time for me to call Tasty Works. I mean, Thinkorswim and say, let me tell you, do you know who I am? And they'll say, yeah, you're the guy that lost money in your account last year. I mean, that's me. I said, it's because of my commission structure. I need to drop my commission. It's about time for me to make a phone call. And then they'll go, sorry, Mr. Gaines, we can't do anything for you. Then I'll cower down in my little fetal position again. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. 45.30 is where we're going. 45.30. Here we go. So we've got one that we buy one there, and that's fine because we've already got one there. So it's okay to overlap as long as you're buying where you're buying and selling where you're selling. Hold our little control key down. Go 50 points below. So 45.30, that'll be 44.80. Control and hit it. And then we'll go and sell us something for $20. Let's go, little Bob. Little Bob. Let's do it right on that one. $21. So then these have to be in increments of quarters, right? So we'll try 11.75. See if we can fail. It takes me $475 of buying power. And fill me, baby. Jack squat crap. So 11.50. Nickels and dimes, baby. Nickels and dimes. There we go. So we'll call this, I think we're at the, what is this, the 60th one of these we've done, maybe? So we'll go right click, move to group. Oh, look at Phil. Yeah, I was laying in bed last night. I going, Bobby, you was smart, you was pretty, you was witty, you was intelligent, you was, trying to do this, all this garbage that they tell us in our psychology classes, as I'm laying in the fetal position. You was good, you was kind, you was add group. So we'll go 111. And we'll call this one the 60. I know we ain't done 60 of them, so here we go, 60. Here we go. We got our little trade in. And that's really all we got to do today. So we're up $1,200. So the market must be still off. But really, really cool program we got going on here. It's just, to me, I'm real confident. I should cry to toss too. I do a consistent 350 plus futures trades a month. Yeah, exactly. It's time to call, right? So that's when you go, do you know who I am? I've monitored your account. I'm well aware of you, pal. You're the guy that posts his account number on YouTube all the time. Yeah, that's me. You know, that's not safe, dude. Yeah, I know. I know. Plus, somebody's trying to use my credit card in a Walmart in, where was it, Connecticut or something? Unbelievable. Now, what's wrong with people? Fortunately, Walmart caught them, though, trying to steal something. Now, I feel bad because I think one of the, Beth, are you in here? What it baby formula they's trying to buy? It was what? Oh, it was a book they were trying to read, buy at Walmart with my credit card. How to potty train a kid in 3 days. Let me tell you how you do it. You duct tape a diaper on their little butt. That's what you do. I hadn't potty trained anybody, but I know what to do. I've watched you, honey. I've watched you plenty. Yeah. Oh, by the way, y'all, did y'all see I posted a interview as I was, look at this, Karen's, she's touting her book and everything. So I think now that she's talking about this, her book, there's probably a good chance, because I think I found her phone number. I told y'all that. You can find it on Amazon. And apparently there's only like 5 reviews of her book, and the only written review where they put anything on it says that it doesn't tell you anything about the SEC and the fraud. It's just her doing all of her little work throughout the world with the little Ethiopian children and planting pineapple saplings or sucklings or whatever she calls sucklings. I don't know what pineapple is. So yeah, that's what we want to hear. We want to hear the dirt. If you want to sell a book, I mean, you got to give us the dirt, girl. You got to. Now, when I've got her on, I'm not going to say that to her, but we'll try to get down to the dirt if we get carried on. Oh, that's going to be fun. I cannot wait. I'll actually I'll wear long breeches. I'll put on something other than this tacky t-shirt that I got on. I'll probably wash my hair. It's going to be a great day. I just know that that's coming. All right. So everybody knows the plan. Let's go back through our plan really quick live before we let everybody go. Let's see what our plan is. We got like a 12-point plan, if I can remember. So first of all, you need to find something that you're confident in. Where's my dadgum pen? Unbelievable. Here it is. So you need to find you something that you're comfortable. You know, what's our income trade? Like if you're just Mr. Apple and you say Apple's the best thing, well, you got to, so have an income trade that we're just going to be asset accumulators. Income trade, and the income trade is long term, and find something that you believe in. So remember, we believed in the Qs. We said, you know what? I believe in those 102 companies, and we go through them, a lot. Ross, or not Target's not in it. I don't think. We got Ross. We got Costco. We've got what's some of them, Joe? We got Tesla that everybody says is overvalued. It may be, but we got 102 companies, right? We got Apple, we got the Googles, the 2 Googles in there. We got Goog and Google. We got Facebook or Meta, whatever it is, whatever the garbage is. Facebook, FB. We got Facebook. We got all these companies in here. We got Dollar Tree. Beth, I forbid you from going to Family Dollar. You henceforth and ever now we'll go to Dollar Tree. Do you hear me, lady? Huh? Whatever. Unbelievable. You think Miss Terry talks to Nick Saban that way, Beth? Yeah, I think she's boss of the house. So we go to the Dollar Tree. We drink Dr. Pepper. Beth loves that. How many cases of Dr. Pepper we go through a year, Beth? There's a ton of them. If I'd stay out of it, she said, not as much. Hey, don't buy Coke Zero anymore. We're Pepsi people, Beth, because Pepsi is in the, excuse me? I don't like Pepsi. It's horrible. Actually, I mean, and the Diet Pepsi is really even more harmful. But I shouldn't say that because, I got to find an alternative. All right, so we got all these great companies in the Qs. Oh, but Bobby, they're raising interest rates. And remember, the Qs don't have any financial companies in there. So there's no banks in the Q. Okay, you got me. You got me. So what if the Qs go down? Oh, Mr. Q guy. Well, we're going to buy more because we're not in this for the year. We're in this for the long term. So we're going to accumulate shares. So everybody's got to be. So I don't care what you use. I'm using TQQQ, triple leveraged NASDAQ. In a year where there's going to be 4 interest rate hikes. That's dumb, Bobby. I got it. Hey, I'm with you. But I'm just going to buy more shares. Because I could go, well, let's do a triple leverage bank or financial stocks. I don't believe in those. That's not what I'm hanging my future on. I still think that these companies are going to do just fine. So get you an income trade. Now, once you get your shares, you can definitely sell covered calls against them. Remember, we've got a system for selling covered calls. Yesterday, if you had thought that if this thing's going to keep on going down, you could have sold calls against your TQQ shares, right? But we can sell covered calls. When do we do that? Let's go through that real quick. Let's see. When do we do it? All right, so here's our TQQQ. Look at this, y'all. That 200 moving average, for some reason, it stopped it, didn't it? Well, you go, but Bobby, you can't really say that because the Qs are what drives the TQs. I got it. But I just thought it was interesting how they say. So let's say we're going to sell calls on our 200 shares that we've got. When do we do it? Well, we don't do it here. Does everybody see why? Because we've got an upward linear regression channel, and we don't do it here because you're at the bottom of the channel. So the time that you would sell a covered call is when it's in the upward part of the channel. And we gave us a second little trigger to know, and that's when RSI is above that little 70 line. So that kind of gives us a good time. Hey, covered call right here, baby. Go at it, Bob. Where would the second time been above someone? Well, you're in the upper quadrant and you're above 70. Shebang, shebang. That worked really well on that day. Look at this. When you're up in here, you could go, heck yeah, because it goes down, right? But if you were not in it long enough, what happened? It goes back up. Well, that's another opportunity to sell the covered call. It's above 70, it's above 50. Now look how well that worked. Now, is it going to work well every time? No. But there's no reason to sell the covered call down here when you're probably going to get run over. So everybody sees that, right? We've got a plan that covered calls are part of the plan. All right. Just making sure we're all on the same page and we all know our permissions. All right, now we've also got another permission. This is not a requirement, but the third thing with sell covered calls is we can go to cash or bonds, or get out of our TQQ if what? If the SPY is below the 200 simple moving average, 200 daily simple moving average on SPY. Now, why not the Qs, Bob? It's a good question. Well, you'd think we'd be going by the Qs. Or what about the TQs? That's the one you need to be going by. Well, I bought into some research and some back testing, y'all, that says, so here, we would have been below this 200 daily moving average, almost, but we only look at that when? Anybody? When do we look at this? Last trading day of the month. Last trading day of the month. We don't look at it before. So today's January 11th. It's not the last trading day of the month. But when we do look at it, we're going to look at it on the last trading day of the month of SPY. So let's go to SPY. And you see SPY is well above. Look, SPY went down to the bottom of its linear regression channel. That's why I love the linear regression channel. And now she's going back up. So if SPY on the last day of trading in the month is below here, we have an option that we can get out of TQQs because we're saying, you know what, there may be some big losses. So that's just a permission. It's not a requirement for you to get out. It's just a permission. And again, what is this based on? Well, it's based on some, what people would say, overfitting and recency bias, confirmation bias, all kind of biases in some studies that are out there. But it makes a lot of sense. I mean, if you start reading some of the things that we have in the resources tab, you kind of realize why, hey, you could potentially undo a lot of losses that we could potentially have if we start in a really big bear market and we're way down here. Okay, so everybody knows we got a trigger there. So let's see what else we got. So we got 1, 2, 3. And what else? We've got something that's part of a hedge here, in that we're hedging ourselves with TMF. What is TMF? TMF is triple leverage, 20-year treasuries, TMF. So we have a portion of our trades in TMF, which gives us a little bit of hedge. Now, people are saying, but Bobby, if interest rates are going up, what does that do to the price of bonds? And we all know that the price of bonds go down. I got it. So in a rising interest rate environment, you would expect the price of bonds to go down. But while we are in TMF, is we're not talking about normal days. We're talking about this being a potential hedge during a significant crash. Because people don't go on a significant crash day. Here's what people do. They get out of stocks. They hit the doorway when blood is in the streets, and then they are searching for something to go into. And they don't go, oh, wait a minute, it's a rising interest rate environment, so that means bonds are going to go down. No, they just look for a flight to safety, and the flight to safety historically has been bonds. So that's why TMF is there. I realize in a rising interest rate environment that bonds will go down. I got you. But that's not why TMF is in the account. And TMF is not a significant portion of our account. What portion of our account is it? Well, let's look, oh Bob, oh Bob, oh Bob. So right now it's 22%. TQQ 76%. All right. So if we look at our rebalancing, we're at 76, 22, that's 98. Look at that. We only got 2% cash. And our desired is 70, 20, 10 when we rebalance monthly. I'm not monthly, rebalance quarterly. And I even put quarterly rebalancing on the so this is my ideal thing. I want to be 70% TQ. I want to be 20% TML and have 10% cash. All right. Make sure everybody's with us. All right, so let's see if we can put some more points on our little thing. So we got TMF as a possible hedge. Then we've got the Sweet Bobby hedge. Sweet Bobby hedge that I came up with all by myself. Y'all remember that? How can I say that and keep a straight face? Oh, I love it. All right, so we got the Sweet Bobby hedge in there that gets us for the big old humongous down moves. Then we've got the VIX hedge that was proposed by Kurt at Option Alpha. So we've got hedges in here. Then we've got a grind down hedge, which is our 111 trade, which is also a beautiful income trade as well. So we've got our 111 trade. Why do we put on our 111 trade? Let's go show you again. Repetition is amazing, y'all. Just got to beat this into ourselves, even me. So I'll go, look at this. I want you to see this beautiful, beautiful little hedge. Oh, here's where the market is. And here's all of my 111 trades. Look at the fortress that I have created. It makes money if we go up in the market. It makes money if we go down in the market. And it really makes money if we go significantly down in the money. Now, listen, when you're putting on your first one, yours is not going to look like this. You're not going to have all this awesome little sea of green there saying at expiration, I'm going to make $9,365 in 53 days. Right? Yours ain't going to look like this. It's going to look significantly different. But we're doing these so that we eventually get this. And I call this, Tom King calls it an elephant. And who would even pull for something that looks like an elephant? So I call it a whale. Just draw our little whale, get our little spout hole up here, and our little eye, and our little mouth, and our little whale. So he's looking good. So this is if the market grinds down, here we have significant profits from our put debit spreads. And as you've seen me do, we certainly at some point can close some of these naked puts down here to take risk off and make this thing even higher. We can do that. We showed you how to do that. So the 1-1-1 trade is just something that's beautiful and it's part of our hedging plan. All right, now let's see if we got some other thing. I'm doing all this from memory, y'all. So I did have 12 things. So eight. What else do we have, y'all? We have fixed hedge, sweet Bobby hedge, the 1-1-1. What else we do? Oh, we can do some calendar spreads. And calendars help us when the market is up and volatility or VIX is really, really low. So let's look at VIX for a second. VIX. I don't have a single calendar spread on right now. I just don't think I need them. But what we would do is put these on when the VIX is really, 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 really low. So you can kind of see that there is an area about right here where you could be putting those on. See where it's kind of at 16 on the VIX. See that? That you can start putting these on. Why? Because this VIX is somewhat cyclical, right? It goes down and it goes up. Volatility increases. It goes down, gets calm, and people panic. Calm, people panic. Calm, people panic. Calm. People are just creatures of habit. So this little VIX is kind of nice. So you kind of wait until you get down into the 16, 17 area, and you put those on. Put on a little calendar spread. Now we're not going to go into the specifics of the calendar spread, but what this does is give you a little bit of downside protection as well. That's what a calendar does. And we'll go into the specifics of the calendar when we think it's time to put one on. I just don't think it's right now. I mean, I could, but I think we got a little bit more to go down before we put one on. Okay. So we got the VIX. We got our VIX hedge. We got calendars that we put on. Also, we talked about collars as well, protective collars. So let's say that you're real happy with where your account is today and you're going to take a vacation in a week. You could do a collar around your TQQs to just kind of freeze them, right? It's kind of a protective collar. So what is a protective collar? Well, on your Qs, you would, let's see if I get it right. I got to think right. So on a collar, you would sell a call against your Qs for each 100 shares, right? You sell a call, and then you buy a put down below. Buy a put. Yeah, and that's a collar. It just kind of freezes where you're at. So if you were going on vacation for a month and you go, oh my gosh, I'm going to be on a Norwegian cruise and we're going to be, cruising wherever. Yeah, I mean, you can actually put collars on that'll kind of freeze your shares wherever they are. So isn't that kind of cool? And we'll talk more about that. And collars isn't something that I've done a lot of in the past. I'm aware of them. But it made sense to me to go, if I need to press a pause button, we have a nice, big, huge move up today, sell a call, buy a put. That gives you a little bit of protection on your shares. So, it's not a big component of what we do. And if you're not comfortable doing them, I'm trying to think of a time when I would do. And what I like to do is not write in so much of rules. I like to write in permission. So anything is either a rule or permission. So that's a permission. If I want to freeze my account and protect my shares, then I can certainly do a collar. Now I got 12 things, y'all. I got to come up with it. I'm only come up with 9. Does anybody remember any of the stuff that I'm missing? So we got collars, we got calendars. We forgot our biggest thing, y'all. We got AIM. Look at us. This is number 10. We got AIM. What is AIM? That is Licello Automatic Investment Management, right? That tells us it's an algorithm. And old Tubby here went and put this in to a spreadsheet. And the spreadsheet tells us when to buy and sell your little shares. So if this little puppy right here goes up to, let's say 148, let's say it goes to 180, this little thing is going to tell you to take some profits off of the top. Isn't that cool? And if it goes down to 60, this little thing is going to tell you that you need to buy 314 shares. Very, very cool. And it does the same thing with the TMF shares. So what we're doing is buying low and selling high. Very, very cool. So I want you to be comfortable with this, and you got to double check, undo some of these formulas, make sure Tubby put them in right. But so far, so good. This seems to be working really, really, really well. Now, I had two more things on my little list, and I cannot remember them. So I'm telling you, I'm putting all this into writing at some point. At some point, I'm putting all this into writing. Let's see if I can find where all my 12 points were. Does anybody remember the 12 points? Where did I put them in here? Hold on, it was a little picture. Oh, that just hurts my heart seeing my little dead goats. They were alive and happy there. If old Tubby had been a better farmer, I've known that they would not have. Y'all been busy in here, chatting and doing kind of stuff. So, let's see. Dear sweet Bobby, that's where I got, or I'm getting saved. Let's see. All right, what else in here? I got 12 points somewhere. Anybody knows what they are? Let's see. Is that it? Oh, wait a minute. Here's this kind of cool too. What does this say? That's where I got the RSI thing about the covered calls. I really like that. So that's good. Let's see. It's in here somewhere. Y'all, just Ken, how's it going with your Ken's working on a little signal with our skew driver. How's that working, Ken? You talk to us about that while I'm rolling.
Yeah, sure. I'm having some trouble doing my research, so I've and then again, it was Christmas, New Year's, and so I kind of been goofing off on it. But I'm going to Florida on Thursday for 10 days for the wife to go to school, and I will probably be the time I punch out a spreadsheet for public consumption. And it's still a work in progress. And basically how it works is I look at the skew driver from a different perspective. And I asked the question, I didn't ask the question if it would indicate any direction, but when. And I found a way that consistently, since it's only been 3 months, but it's consistently signaled a down move within 2 trading days of the signal. And I was a little annoyed this last time because we had a 70-point drop the day before the signal came, but it turns out it was a pretty good down move, and it did work out. I'm still trying to define it. And right now I think what I'm going to do is, instead of going with average true range as my mark, I'm going to go with percentage change in the E-minis as my benchmark. But so far it's doing pretty good. It's the signal is only that it's going to happen. There's no magnitude, there's no exact day, and there's no exact duration. Tomorrow, if the skew goes to 56, the signal will have stopped. Okay, and it's based on a little algorithm about averages and things. And but I don't have this. This is the uncharted territory. This is pretty new stuff. I don't have to me, it's digital. It triggers on and then it's on until it's off, and then it has to be re-triggered. So it doesn't matter that the trigger has been hit 3 days in a row. It was the first trigger hit that made the difference. So I'm still working on it. And once I get a clean spreadsheet where it's not confusing, I'm going to make a YouTube video explaining in detail what's going on and make the spreadsheet available to this group. And I think this is good stuff, and I don't want it to leave the group. So I'll put it up if we can make an agreement to keep it in the family.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's what I love about our group, right? We got a lot of smart people that contribute, and Ken is certainly one of the ones who puts a lot of time and effort. There he is himself, and Matt, cool. So yeah, just putting a lot of effort into helping our group and everybody to do better. And that's why this is such a great group. Everybody's pulling for each other. We're not trying to beat each other up. So very good. I can't wait to see your results on that. By the way, when I was scrolling through, I came up with 2 other things. I think this will complete our 12. So let's go over here to 11. Very good stuff. I can't wait to see that. And that's our big green monster, y'all. Big green monster is a biggie. I mean, if you're looking at market movements and what it's doing, that's our 11 that we believe in. And then number 12 certainly is the skew driver. So you put all this nonsense together, right? And you got a really, really, really nice little comprehensive plan. I mean, it looks like chaos, right? You go, but trust me, there's been me and plus a lot of people, a lot of books and back tests and everything on everything that we do, and it looks like a very, very comprehensive program. So rather than me teaching y'all butterflies, let's do a strangle today, let's do this. I think it's better that we just run a strategy, an overall strategy. Let's just stick to the strategy. Like if we were, let's say, I don't want to talk about college football. Let's talk about pro football. So let's say if we were a football team, we would come in with a playbook. And the playbook wouldn't have every single thing on it. It would have our strategy. It would have, these are the plays that we will make based on our strengths to be victorious. So we've got all these 12 tenets of our strategy. And I wouldn't do just one. I mean, I think you got to have a little bit of all of them. Now, remember, some of them are permissions and some of them are rules. So, as much as we try and strive to take the art out of trading, there's always going to be a little bit of art. We're trying to put science in place of art, but there's always a little bit of art. And part of the art was, y'all saw me earlier this week, I didn't have any buying power. So I harvested some of my short puts in the 111. And y'all, I want y'all to be that comfortable where you go, oh my gosh, I don't have buying power to put on a 111 today. What do I do? Well, you harvest if you can. And as long as you harvest one of those short puts of the 111 trade, as long as you're doing it for a 50% profit, your overall put debit spread is placed on for free and you cannot lose on the overall trade. So that's what we're looking at. We want y'all to be confident when you go in day after day, because I realize you guys have jobs, right? Ken and I, and now Rick, we don't have jobs. We're all just, I got a job at Alabama, but we just kind of sitting at the house, doing our thing. So we think about a lot of these things and come up with it, and then we just put it into the plan. So if you ever got a question about the strategy, let me know. If you want a one-on-one, let me know, and we'll try to sit down and make sense. I just want to make sure that y'all understand everything. I don't want y'all to be lost, because we're all pulling for each other here. Because again, I've told you, we could publish this strategy in the Wall Street Journal and nobody's going to do it. This, they'll say this is the biggest hoopla of garbage that man has ever conceived. And it does look like it on a screen. Now it looks like a bunch of garbage. Well, we think that there's a lot of reasoning, a lot of logic behind it. And that's why we tip our hat to it and say, take us to where we want to go. All right, guys, good session today. Y'all be good. And I will see y'all tomorrow.